So this video is going to show you something kind of cool. It's going to show you how to use your car as a dehydrator. So just hang on and we're going to get to that. And if you've ever watched any of my videos, you know that I don't like to edit anything because otherwise no video would ever get up. So this is all going to happen like all at once, unedited. It's going to get pretty crazy. But here's how the video started. So I've been supplementing with this stuff called Amazing Grass. I don't necessarily eat it every day, but definitely if I go on a backpacking trip, I'll throw a scoop into whatever. And all of a sudden, as it's getting a little bit lower and I was thinking about buying some more, this is pretty pricey stuff. I can, if you got some dollars, you might not think this is expensive. I think this is expensive stuff. It's basically like, I don't know what it is, 50 cents a scoop. It's like, I don't know, $40 or $50 for this whole thing, 100 servings. And so I started to think about what am I actually getting in here and to take another relook at the label. And so there is some vitamin A and vitamin K and vitamin C and a little bit of iron. And I can get those things from other sources. And so what else is in here? There's some cocoa. I could put in my own cocoa. There is a fiber blend. I get enough fiber from other sources. There's this whole probiotic sort of stuff. My gut is pretty good. I'm feeding it pretty well. I don't think I need additional probiotics. And so that basically leaves the antioxidants and the stuff that's giving you those vitamins, which I was wondering, could I make this myself? And so I started going to Chronometer, which is a website that you can track your nutrition on, and threw in some kale, threw in some collard greens, threw in some beet greens, and messed around, and realized that I really don't need a whole heck of a lot of any of them to get the vitamins and minerals that are in here. So I decided to try doing my own blends. This is obviously one of the things that makes this great. If you can see that, it's obviously a well blended product, so just a little bit, doesn't take up a lot of room, and it's very light. So I decided to try making my own. I'll take you along on that journey. And hey, this is for those of you who are really concerned about getting that vitamin K while you're camping, backpacking, or hiking, this is for you. All right, so the first thing we need to do is go out and get some kale or beet greens. So let's go. All right, so I just happen to have this tray right here handy. And again, this is normally where normal people would go and edit and stop the video. I'm gonna jog to my garden with you. So my garden is right on the side of the house here. All right, there's my garden. For those of you young kids that are out there watching this video, this is where food comes from. Like, it's actually grown in the dirt. Yeah, it doesn't always come from a store. So here we have, is that in the video there? Here we have some beet greens. So I'm gonna do some beet greens, and then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna pick some kale. Now I've got 3 different types of kale growing. So if you know anything about kale, this flat leaf variety really dries the best and the fastest. The crinkly kinds, where is that? Is that in the camera? Also dries. This stuff here, which I don't know what the real name is, or if the real name is dinosaur kale. That's what we call it because it's kind of like dinosaur skin. This definitely takes the longest to dry. So if you're going to mix them all, it's kind of an issue. If you're just going to do one at a time, that's not a problem. So I'm going to throw some flat kale on here, and actually looking at how much room I have, I'm going to go back and throw on some more beet greens. All right, so let's go do this. Actually, maybe we can do this right here in the shade. So, is that in the camera? Oh, it's not staying up. Hold on 1 second. How's that? All right, I think that's in there. So what I do is I fold the leaf, hold the rib of it, and then just rip out that vein. And so basically you're left with a couple of pieces. So fold the leaf up, rip out the vein, put it on the pan. Fold the leaf, devein it. I'm going to get rid of that piece of kale. It's not going to fit. And I spread it out across the pan, fill it up. I'm not going to go crazy fixing it since I just want to make this quick. And again, obviously you can squeeze more on, but you can kind of get a sense of what it looks like. Then you come over here. Aren't those awesome? I don't know if you can see that. Beautiful. And here's my car. This is the morning, so it's just getting into the sun. And open up the door. And it doesn't have to be on the dash. It could be anywhere. I did some last week in the back seat. And so what you do is you let it stay in your car. The trays that I did last week, it was like 85 degrees out. It basically took all day long, about 8 hours or so. But this is something where you can put them in the morning, drive to work, and on your way home, take them out with you and they'll be totally dry. And let's face it, if you've gotten this far in the video, you're the type of quirky person who would love having beet greens drying in your car on baking dishes while you're at work. That's a conversation starter. Okay, let's see if they're done. All right. So, let's get in this shade to get rid of the glare. So you can kind of get a sense that there ends up being a lot of room after they dry. All right, let's take them inside. So the next step, oh no, they're blowing all over. I'm gonna let those blow away. I'm gonna keep going. There goes another one. All right, that was worked out really well. So I just lost like half the thing, but let's just keep pushing, shall we? So the next step would be to grind them up. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. First way is to literally just take it in your hands and go back and forth like this over a dish. And actually, let's try that. Here's a dish. You could literally take the leaf and just rub it between your fingers. And there you go. Without too much rubbing, you can see how easily that can get to powder. What I like to do is throw it in a coffee grinder. I do it in reverse. Normally you would put it into, I'm assuming you would put it into this section of a coffee grinder. I put the leaves into the top of the coffee grinder. Put it on. Oops. Now again, these have been, the big vein in the back of the leaf has been taken out. And again, I didn't really do this for very long. But you can get a sense there of what it ends up looking like. And so this entire thing basically gets reduced to, the whole baking tray gets reduced to a tablespoon. Now, keep in mind that I did lose about 4 leaves, so that would maybe round off the tablespoon a little bit. And also, I don't know how well the camera is picking it up, but you can kind of get a sense that I didn't grind it to powder. There are some pretty big leaves in there, especially at the bottom of this, that's helped fluffing it up. So I'll just add it to the rest. And that is your own Simply Green mixture right there. So 1 tablespoon is equal to everything you put on the tray. And if you want to really uplift the amount of antioxidants and that sort of stuff in there, you can add, this is my own oregano basil mix that I dried. You can also just put in some oregano. Oregano is full, different herbs are so packed with antioxidants and other beneficial stuff. So you can just throw some herbs in there. And that's it. That's as simple as it is drying it in your car. And if I can just show you one more thing, if you're still hanging on with me, let's go back and outside. Let me show you one more option for drying things. So I also have a dehydrator. Let's see how we can do this here. How's that? I also have a dehydrator. This cost $35. I mean, it's been awesome. I did buy 2 additional trays for $10. I don't know if you can see that. Not all the trays are on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I can go, I have 8 trays. I think you can go as high as 12 trays. And for the last couple of days, there's been nothing but beets in here. So I have like a huge bag of beet chips that I've dried in here. And if you don't want to dry it in your car, you can dry it right from here. The kale dries super fast. And right now in here, what I've got going on, oh, it's a random beet chip. I don't know where that came from. But I've got mint and I've got some lemon balm drying in here right now. So if you don't want to, if you park in the shade, making that little thing of greens is as easy as getting a dehydrator. This one was on Amazon. It was used. It was just basically an open box product. I think brand new. It goes for $50. And I don't often do a product placement, but can you see that? It's Nesco. And so far, this has been awesome. Those herbs are almost done, and they've only been in there a few hours or so. It's got a pretty good temperature control system. And so that's it. Hope that helps you somehow. And come on, you got to just try once going to work and drying beet greens on baking dishes in your car. Obviously, you have to be able to park in the sun. That's one part of it. And depending on where you are in the world and the angle of the sun, that's going to impact the temperature of your car. And for most of you that are probably listening to this, you only have like another month or two to do this before it starts getting cool. So there you go, a very simple DIY substitute for amazing greens. Thanks.